Hi everyone, it's Miss Marnik. We are going to do Daily Common Core Review number 4 together. So we started this in class on Wednesday, and now we're going to go through each question and do it together. You should already have the underlining and coding done, but if you don't and it doesn't match my page, I want you to do it exactly like me now and make your page match. So here we go. Looking at number 1, it says write the matching equation. 3 times 8 is the same as 6 times 4. So automatically you should see the word matching. You know that means perfect. It needs to match exactly as it says. And we know the word equation. We can either look at our DCCR model to figure out what that is or take a look up at the math word wall. But an equation means it is in a number sentence with an equal sign. So we know we're going to have an equal sign in our equation here. Now we're looking at our clues. It says 3 times 8 is the same as 6 times 4. Now I know times means I'm going to multiply. I know is the same as means an equal to, so I need an equal sign there. 6 times, again, 4. So now all I have to do is make this equation match. I should have a number, multiplication sign, number, equals, a number, multiplication sign, and a number. So all I do is follow along. First I have the number 3 times, I know that's multiplication, 8 is the same as means equals 6 times, and then my number 4. So my equation says 3 times 8 equals 6 times 4, which matches exactly in that order. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says, write a multiplication expression that is equal to 16. So I see the word multiplication. I know I'm going to need to multiply. I see the word expression. I know that's different than an equation. I know expression means that I don't have an equal sign. So whatever I have is not going to have an equal sign. Don't let this get confused. It says equal to, but it's just an expression, so I shouldn't have an equal sign in my answer. And I know that it needs to be equal to 16, so that's my product or my answer to my multiplication problem. So I just need to think of a fact that I know that is equal to 16. So I know 4 times 4 is equal to 16. I know 8 times 2 is equal to 16. You can pick whatever multiplication fact you know that is equal to 16. I'm going to pick 4 times 4. And all I write is 4 times 4. And I know that it's an expression, so I don't need an equal sign, so that's all I have to write. I'm done. I can move on. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 says, the bracelets cost $3 and the candies cost $27. How many times more do the candies cost than the bracelets? So right away I'm noticing, okay, the bracelets, they cost $3. I'm going to underline that. The candies, they cost $27. Then it's asking how many times more. I should be thinking automatically many times more. How many times always goes first, and times means I'm multiplying. This one's a little different because in past problems it's told us it costs 3 times as many more, or there's 4 times as many. This time, how many times more is what we don't know. It's our variable. It's what we have to solve. And our question is just how many times more do the candies cost than the bracelets? So I know I'm multiplying here. I know many times more is always going to come first, but this is different. I don't know how many times more. So I'm going to put a question mark right here because I'm not sure. And I know whatever that is, I'm multiplying it by something to get something. So I know for multiplication that I have group times how many are in each group is going to equal my total. So I know my total has to go here. And I have the numbers $27 and I have the number $3. It doesn't make sense for $3 to go here, so this must be where my total goes. So $27 goes here and $3 goes here. And now I can solve. So one way I can solve is maybe in my head I just know blank times $3 equals $27. If I've been practicing my nines, I should know automatically, 9 times 3 equals 27. And then I can write a 9 here. Circle it, and then I'm done. Another thing I could do is I could use the inverse operation. So if I look at my math window, the inverse operation on the same window as multiplication is division. So I can change this to a division problem and have it say 27 divided by $3 equals what? And solve it by dividing. Either way, I know the answer is 9, but I'm not done. I have to write it in a complete sentence. Now pay attention to the question. It's not asking us how much money something costs. We know how much the candies cost, and we know how much the bracelets cost. We are trying to find out how many times more the candies cost than the bracelets. So my answer shouldn't be in dollars. My answer is just rewording the question. The candies cost 9 times more than the bracelets, period. So check your paper, make sure it matches mine. Make sure everything is underlined, your work looks the same, you have a complete sentence with a capital letter and a period. If you're not there yet, pause the video before you move on to number 4. Taking a look at number 4. Dominic wants to put the 48 kids into 6 groups. How many kids will be in each group? Okay, so I automatically see Dominic. He's putting the 48 kids into 6 groups. And I want to know how many kids will be in each group. As soon as I hear in each group, I'm thinking of my math wall, I-E-G, in each group. 48 kids in 6 groups. So that's sort of easy. It tells me 6 groups. It tells me that's the group. So I have in each group, I have group. I know the other thing that goes with that is I need a total. So 48 kids here is my total. So also I see the word each. I know this can mean multiplication or division, and I need to figure out which one it is. So if I look at my math window, I can see that if I do not know the total, then I use multiplication. If I do know the total, then I use division. In this case, I labeled my total as 48 kids, so I'm going to want to use division. So I know I'm using this. Total divided by the number of groups is going to equal how many are in each group. Now I just plug in my numbers. My total is 48. My groups is 6, so I put in 6. And now I just need to solve 48 divided by 6. The answer to that is 8. So I circle that so I know. And then don't forget to number your question here. How many kids will be in each group? I just need to reword it and say there will be 8 kids in each group. Make your paper match mine exactly. If you need more time, pause the video before you move on to number 5. Taking a look at number 5. Jane made 1,234 baskets. Travis made 2,014 baskets. About how many more baskets, B, there's our variable, what we're trying to solve. About how many more baskets did Travis make than Jane? So, okay, I'm looking, I see Jane, underline that, she made 1,234 baskets. Travis made 2,014 baskets. This about word is very important. If I look at my math windows, I look under what words mean round. About means round, so I know I'm going to have to round my question. It's also asking me how many more. Again, looking at the math windows under subtraction, how many more means we're going to subtract. And our question is right here, number 1, about how many more baskets did Travis make than Jane? So I see I'm subtracting, and I know when I set up a subtraction problem, I have biggest minus smallest is going to equal my difference. So that's how I have to set up my problem. So my bigger number is this, 2014. My smaller number is 1,234. The difference is what I don't know. It's what I'm trying to solve. So let's see, I'm going to plug it in. 2,014 minus 1,234. That's going to get me my answer. Now go back and pay attention to this word about. That means round, so I don't actually have to solve this. I need to round. So I'm going to draw an arrow, and I always round to the biggest place. It doesn't tell me where to round, I just have to know that. So my biggest place here is going to be my thousands place, my 2. So I circle the 2. I'm looking at the 0 to the right of it to tell me what to do. The rounding rule is 5 or above, give it a shove. 4 or below, let it go. So I have a 0 to my right, that's below 4, so I can just let it go and round to 2,000. Then I look at 1,234. Again, I'm looking to round to the biggest place. That's the thousands place again, so my 1. I'm looking at my 2 to see how I round. It's below 4, so I know I let it go. And I make it 1,000. Now I'm subtracting 0 minus 0, 0, 0, 0. Then 2 minus 1 is 1,000. So I have my answer, and I'm going to circle it. Don't forget to label again, bigger number, smaller number, and difference. Now my last step is to write a complete sentence. Don't forget this word about, because we didn't really solve it. We were rounding. So I'm going to write Travis made about 1,000 more baskets than Jane. Check your page, make sure it looks just like mine. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, number 6, we're looking at our last one here. The French and Indian War began in 1754 and ended in 1763. How many years did the war last? Now in this problem, there's not an obvious hint word that's telling us what operation to do, but it is asking us how many years. That's like asking us about elapsed time, how much time has passed. So if you're dealing with time, most of the time it's going to be subtraction, like in this case. So I'm going to write a subtraction sign. I have 1754 and 1763, and I know I'm subtracting, so I'm going to set my problem up like the last one. I have the bigger number minus the smaller number is going to equal my difference. So if I label here 1763 is my bigger number, 1754 is my smaller number, so I plug that in. 1763 minus 1754, and now I'm going to subtract. I start in the ones place. I have 3 minus 4. I say more on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. So I'm taking 10 away from this 6 and changing it to a 5. Then I give that 10 over here to my 3. So if I add 10 more, I get 13. 13 minus 4 equals 9. Then I have 5 minus 5, that's 0. 7 minus 7, 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. These zeros I don't need because they're coming to the left of the 9. So I know my difference here is 9 years. My last step is to write it in a sentence. So how many years did the war last? I reword it to say, the war lasted 9 years. And then you're all set. So go back through the video, watch any parts that you need repeated, double check your work, make sure it looks exactly like mine, because I showed you how to do it in the video, so it should look exactly the same. When you're all done and you're confident that it's perfect, turn it into the bin and work on your next task. Bye-bye.